many students of mine, they forced me that I should be inducted over here. Why not to take up these classes of CSS and PMS? And then I decided myself, okay, all right, then I should be here. Why not to take up these classes? And in that way, when I see, especially in my field here, especially in the world of English language and literature, you will find that there are many quicks and the very bogus and a very bogus type of people, and they are trying to coach the people or train the people in order to get money or in order to mint money from the people. So you might have seen that there is a great mushroom, or there is a great growth of these type of academies, especially in all over Pakistan. I'm not talking about in Lahore, but I'm talking about lump sum or overall, that there are tremendous academies, large number of academies all over Pakistan. And since, as you know, that Lahore is a hub of colleges, it's a city of colleges, and you can't ignore the brimful colleges and universities over here. So that is why we always call that this Lahore is a city of colleges, because here you will find that there are a large number of people that who want to join this profession of PMS and at the same time a CSS. So as you know that there was a pressing demand on the part of the students. I mean, like you people, and like the previous that I have taught people at different stages, at CA level, at MBA level, at MCS level, at graduation level, both language and literature, and even at inter level. So it was a pressing demand from the students, why not to take these classes. So for the last 3 or 4 days, I was trying my best in order to give my best to my students, so that they are able to become a good citizens of Pakistan, their nation and their people, and serving as CSP officers and serving as a PMS officers. Right? So this is all about me. So now I'll give you some idea of CSS, and I'm going to tell you that there are a number of colleagues of mine that they have been a part of me in Government College University, and then in Punjab University English department. And even I'm proud to say that now these all of the colleagues of mine, they are serving as CSP officers or a PCS officer, because in those days that was the PC officers at provincial level. Now it has been switched over to PMS, and actually this is something a kind of PCS, right? So, and I'm proud to say that it would really be a great information to all of you that one of my class fellows at Government College University at graduation level, he was one of my students at graduation level, and his name is Asad Majid Khan. So he's ambassador in America because he cleared CSS, and he was allocated as a foreign affairs officers. And after step by step, improved himself, and nowadays he's the ambassador of Pakistan in America. He's ambassador of Pakistan in America. So for me, I didn't tell you anything, but here, since as you know that these are the great moments and the happy moments and the golden moments for me, so I am not reluctant over here, and I feel free to tell you that ambassador of Pakistan in America is one of my class fellows at Government College University. But then there are a long queue of these people who have been my class fellows. Some of them are in police services, and the others are in foreign services, and then in income tax and the customs and the accounts, and in accounts department, and then in the information department, then in the OMG group, and then some of them are serving in the information department. The others are amicably and very comfortably serving in a railway, because railway group is also one of those group where CSP officers would like to join it. Okay, now this is that I am telling you all about it. But then there are many other students that have cleared CSS, and they have been my students, and now they are working as CSP officers in the different departments, and perhaps in every field you will be able to find it that there are a number of students that they are working very amicably. And I'm also mention all that since I'm seeing all that before me, that some of my students that they are working as a computer specialist in multinational companies or at the other companies at national level. And since then there are some students that they are going to have a different type of administrative slots. So again, I would say that these are really a proud moments for me. Now, as I told you before, that why I have decided to touch this domain, because I have not been touching all that, especially on this gadgets or machine. I mean, something if I am seeing all of you these online classes. So I've been in touch with the student. I've been giving them instructions and the training and all that. I'm giving and pouring all my ideas at my home. Number of students came to my home in the past, and still they are coming, and I'm giving the instructions. But here it's for the first time that I'm here on before you as a feature or as an activity, online activity. So, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear student, as I told you before it, that the people around you, that they are, you see the cheating the people, they are swindling our students, they are cheating them on the name of education. And sometimes you feel that they are cheating, especially in the academies, and sometimes they have a special type of venues that they have meant, that they say that they are meant for the new entrants. So nothing lies with it, and I am telling you that the truth is that sometimes you feel that there are some bureaucrats and they claim that they are the retired bureaucrats, and now they are going to give training to the people, especially to my students, to our students. I tell you that bureaucrat is a bureaucrat, all right, but it doesn't mean anything. If you are a bureaucrat, then even you know English. Knowing English is something else. Knowing English is something, again, a different type of feature or different type of domain. As I told you before it, that it doesn't mean that if you are a bureaucrat and if you are a retired bureaucrat, you are able to give instructions to the people or coach them in the domain of English. I tell you, it's all fraud. And this is why I'm going to give you the alert that don't try to catch yourself, especially in their swindling. That was perhaps the reason that I am really very much here to tell you the truth, what is truth, what is logic, and what is common sense, and what are the ordinary people and what are the special people. And as for me is concerned, I would like to say about myself that I was unsung hero. I didn't have any approach, especially like this. But now the God has gifted us this approach, because sometimes you feel that Corona. I won't say that Corona is a blessing. Corona is, you can say, never ever you can say that it's a blessing. It's really a great menace, right? So it is a great. It has produced a great fatality, and it's really very much dangerous to the people, and not here in Pakistan, but all around the world. But at the same time, the Corona has given us the opportunity to talk to the audience like this. And maybe had there been no Corona, I would not have talked like this. So it was Corona, and it is just by dint of God that we are going to have an interaction with one another. So as I told you, that don't try to spoil your energies, your health, your money, your finance, your ideas, hankering behind all that spurious and number two academies, hankering after these bogus academies, right? Now this is my humble advice to all of you, because they are just, I tell you, that the money minting institutions, they have become the trade mill, and they distort the money from the people in the name of education. So today I am here to let you know all about the CSS, what is CSS and what is PMS. So let's start with it. CSS, Central Superior Services. Over the years, since the inception of Pakistan, people have been doing it. They passed their examination, they have been inducted in the different type of jobs. So jobs nowadays, the most important one is because there are the different kind of brands in CSS. After you clear your CSS, I mean to say that the both your written examination and your interview. So after you clear it, then you are allocated in a different type of positions. The first one is DMG. Now DMG is known as District Management Group, and the second one is police, and then foreign affairs, and then income tax, and then the customs, and then ONMG group, and then the accounts group, then comes the information department, and finally comes the railway, and maybe sometime it's in the post offices that you are given jobs. So every time if I say that, it's not a hard and fast rule. Sometimes it all depends upon the competency of the students, that how many seats are allocated for the students or for the candidates. And sometimes maybe I'm aware of the fact that when I was a student of GC and Punjab University, in those days, you see that DMG was number one, and then the second one was foreign affairs. But now it has been shuffled and reshuffled. So don't mind that every year if it is shuffled and reshuffled. So it all depends upon it. So I'm talking about English because you see that English is really a horrible night. It is really a horrible nightmare for the people. And why it is a horrible nightmare for the people? You being a student of English, you might be knowing everything all about it. Now, I'm going to tell you that why people feel not at ease, why they feel hot under the collar, being all the time with English language. The number one is that they are not so profound as far as when their fundamentals and the basics are concerned. So that was perhaps the reason that they are always shy in writing a good English. Second one is that they do not have a teacher. They have not been finding good teachers, especially at their embryonic stages of development. I mean, to say that at grade 5 or 6 or 7, 8, and at 9th or 10th level, they are not able to find themselves comfortably with the teachers. And sorry to say that if they have the teachers, they do not have the potential. The teachers, they do not have the potential. And at the same time, the third one is that why we are so poor in English language is the system where we are going to groom ourselves. We are grooming our energies and potential and knowledge and all that, intelligence and diligence. So why we are, you see that away from it, because it's at the secondary level that the teaching is really very much focused. First of all is that our syllabuses, that they designed and they are tailored to invite you to pass this one, because all of them are cram oriented and you won't be able to have anything out of it. You can be able to get good marks. I mean, maybe out of 100, you may be able to 92 or 93 marks, but you are not able to write anything. So it means that there is a great fault or a defect in our educational system as far as English language and literature is concerned. Because what I am saying all that, I do not have any idea about the other subjects, but as far I know that as far as this subject is concerned, because basically we are not aware of it, right? And even same is also the case with the inter level and at the graduation level, the people are not able to write anything because they do not have the creative potential. But when the same lot, they try their luck in order to pass their examination in CSS, I mean to say that when they try their luck in order to appear in the CSS examination or the PMS examination, so they see a different type of scenario. They see that the culture is different, environment is different, paper pattern is different, paper checking is different, and at the same time, the requirement of the examination is totally different. So they feel at wit's end. So they are not able to pass it. So I was having a report. I mean, just reading a report, and at this time I'm having a report this time before me, and it's about why people fail in English language. And each year you will see that if 92% people appear in the examination, the 87 to 88% fail to qualify their English language paper, right? Now this is the case. And every year you will be able to find these people in hot water. And why is it so? I told you all about it, the sorry state of affair, that the people fail to qualify it because they do not have any idea about the exact and pure English. And as for you see, the papers are concerned, the question papers are concerned, there are two papers in the CSS. One, the paper is, it's essay writing, and it will take 3 hours. And in fact, every year you will be given 10 different kind of essays, and you have to select one of them in the examination. And remember it, that the time duration for your examination for essay writing is 3 hours. So it may be around about 1000, 1200 words. And even that there are some candidates that even they write 800 word or 900 word, even that they are so good in it that they get around about 80 marks or 75 or 70, because even if you get 70 or 75 marks, it's really a nightmare for the students, right? But there were my students who got these marks, 70 or 75. And the last time, one of my students, and she got 72 marks in English and CSS examination. But then, as you know, that I was not on air at this time, and people, especially these students, would like to come at my residence, and I would like to coach all of them. But now I would like to coach my students or all these candidates right from now, and till the time comes that they are able to appear themselves in the CSS examination. So this is all about CSS examination. And the second paper is of comprehension and precis writing. So the same precis writing, you have been doing all that, especially at your inter level. But at inter level, you know that the precis writing was not in English, and you were required to write it in Urdu, because in Urdu paper there was a question of precis writing. In Urdu, मैं ये कहता हूँ, ये उर्दू में हम इसे कहते हैं precis writing को तलखीस, और तलखीस जो वर्ड है, इससे मुराद है रिडक्शन, इससे मुराद है कि जो चीज़ें हैं वो रिड्यूस की जाती हैं. If you are given 100 words, then you have to reduce it into 33. If you are given 200 words of a precis or the original passage, so then you have to reduce it to 66 words. And it is of 20 marks in CSS and PMS examination. And then there is a question, a comprehension question. A passage is given to you maybe of 300 words or 400 words, because that passage that comprises 200 word or 300 word, every year it changes. Maybe it's 200 word, 300 word or 400 words. So you have to read the passage, and in the light of it, there are questions. Some questions, they are given at the end, and you would like to note all these questions, and then you would like to write the answer of these questions. But then we felt that, although we know that this comprehension question is only of 20 marks, but even people are not able, candidates are not able to get 2 or 3 marks, not more than this. And why? The reason is that they never use their own language. And what they do is that they just consult the ditto copies or ditto sentences of the original passages, and then they pour the same material in their answer sheet, which is not required on the part of the examiner. Examiner says that just go for it, read it, and after you read it, then comprehend it. Comprehension means then you understand it. And what did you understand? Question number 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you try to write it to your own language, right? And people don't do that. Even if there are some smart Alex, they try to do it, but since they do not have any kind of training in it, since they are not being trained or trained by good people, or that was perhaps the reason that they are not able to get anything, and they are not able to pour anything. And result perhaps is that they failed in the examination. And then comes the translation. The translation is of, it will carry 10 marks, and out of 10, you see that it's again unknown passage is given to you in Urdu, and you are required to translate it in English. Then it becomes a headache for the people, and they are not able to do it because they do not have a training of such sort. So now these the three questions are very much important, and they are very creative in their nature. They are creative in comprehensions, and at the same time they are very much creative, especially when you are going to write anything. So they are very creative sort of questions. We know that along with it, in comprehension or Pressy paper, there are some other kind of questions, and they include idiom and phrases, pair of words, the same pair of words. I mean, maybe pair of words are the same one. The pair of words mean that you have been doing all that at your inter level. So these pair of words, and they are also known as the confused words, right? And along with this, then you are given some correction of sentences. 8 sentences are given to you, and out of 8, you are expected to attempt 5. So it will carry 10 marks. Then along with it, questions are on your vocab or your vocabulary, and these are your antonyms and synonyms. So they'll carry 20 marks, and this is MCQs type of question that will be given to you in the examination. Sometime there may be some kind of question on direct or indirect, active voice, passive voice, and something like this. So it means that it will carry 100 marks, and the 100 marks for that is given to Pressy writing and comprehension, 100 marks, and the other 100 marks are allocated for the essay writing. So it means that this is 200 marks that is given to these both papers. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my students, the female and the male students, and if you are able to clear it, I tell you that you can clear your CSS, right? And if you are good in English, it means that whatever your subject may be as an optional subject, be it psychology, be it philosophy, be it political science, sociology, or history, or even some other kind of subjects. So if you have a good hand in writing a good English, so you can get to know everything, and it means that you can make a tremendous job in passing your examination, right? It doesn't mean anything that if the English is good, you can only get a good marks in 2 paper only in essay writing and Pressy writing and composition. But if you are equally good in English, then you can get very, very good marks, very good marks, especially in some other papers, right? Now this is all about it. Now I am going to have your questions or query of questions. If you want to put any question, I'm very much here, right? Okay, would you like to ask any question, any one of you? I'm here. Yes, good questions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
First of all, introduce one by one. Introduce yourself. I mean, just give me your name and your qualification, and then put questions. Anything about these 2 papers.
Sir, Assalamu alaikum. I am from Noshar of Rose. I am at that moment I am doing BS English in literature field. Sir, I have been studying from many days, but I wanted to know, sir, how I can cover CSS course. At that moment, I have been covering my university course and other with like self-study and general books. Sir, at that moment, what I should do to clear my CSS?
Okay, I mean, you are very much concerned with English language and literature.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I tell you that especially those people who are already involved, especially in the world of language and literature, there might not be any kind of problem for them. But then there are some techniques, then there are some skills that they have to adopt, and at the same time, they have to pour in the examinations. Now, the first one is that if you want to pass it, it's that you have to be in touch all the time with your books. I don't want it that you have to be in touch all the time with very advanced type of books of English. Try to get some books on English language, a very simple one, a very dilute kind of English, and not Shakespearean type of English or Miltonic English or some kind of other English, a very tough kind of Tennyson's English. But I wanted that you should consult novelists or small type of novels and try to read it and try to comprehend all that. And where you find that there is a difficulty, just make a proper outline of it, and then obviously try to see the dictionary, because nowadays dictionary is not really a hard job for the people. In our time, dictionary was there, and because this technology was not developed and it was not so flourished. So for the people like you, it is not really very much difficult. The more you are concerned with all these books, the more you are concerned with the English material, the more you are concerned with the standard material, the more you will feel that you are concerned with the more you will be nearer to the success of your examination, right? There is no hard and fast rule for it, but your inspiration and the love of reading and love of your study, right? Any other question?
Sir, how we can increase our reading on the daily basis? From how many years we should start to read daily?
But since you know that it's I tell you human psychology, and the human psychology, you see that it differs from one person to another, from one individual to another, from one person to another. So it all depends upon your temperament. Some people, they have a good temperament of reading, others they do not have. Some people that they are able to comprehend some new, if they find that some new things are or information are there before them, then they can comprehend it very easily in a very limited sort of time. And the others are there, since they are not so, they never concentrate upon their study. Okay, okay, they can comprehend, but it takes time, or maybe that 8 to 10 hours. But by and by, you will learn everything. You see that the chances of success are more and more. It's a thumb rule. If I'm saying all that, I'm not saying by myself. It's really a thumb rule. The more you are concerned with it, the more the chances of your success are bright. Right? Any question from any other quarter? Any other question, please?
अस्सलाम
उर्दू में पूछ लें आप, कोई उर्दू में पूछना चाहते हैं?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम है इफ्तिखार है एंड आई डिड माय ग्रेजुएशन फ्रॉम सुपीरियर यूनिवर्सिटी। और मेरा क्वेश्चन सर ये है कि मतलब अभी एक पर्सन है, उनको कुछ भी नहीं पता, मतलब वो स्टार्ट अभी करना चाह रहे हैं और वो सीएसएस, पीएमएस या किसी भी सब्जेक्ट की डिटेल में इंटरेस्टेड है, तो हाउ कैन वी स्टार्ट, हाउ कैन दे स्टार्ट, कि वो जो शुरू है वो कहाँ से करें, मतलब रीडिंग से शुरू करें या देखिए अभी वो न्यू है, बिगनर है, तो वो किस चीज पे जो है वो स्टार्ट करें या थोड़ा सा अपने ऊपर इम्प्रूवमेंट करें कि ये हो सकता है, ये थोड़ा सा इम्प्रूव करने पर तो देन हम जो है इस चीज को स्टार्ट करें, तो इसको थोड़ा सा क्लियर कर दें। थैंक यू।
ये बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन किया है हिरा ने। हिरा बेटा, आपने अच्छा क्वेश्चन किया है। इसका जवाब ये है कि देखें, स्टार्टर जो है ना, वो मैं एक अमूमन प्रोवर्ब आज भी मैं स्टूडेंट को बताता हूँ, इट्स अ मोटिवेशनल काइंड ऑफ सेंटेंस। वो है कि इवन द लॉन्गेस्ट जर्नी स्टार्ट्स विद अ सिंगल स्टेप। वो है कि इवन द लॉन्गेस्ट जर्नी स्टार्ट्स विद अ सिंगल स्टेप। और फिर ये है कि नथिंग सक्सीड्स लाइक सक्सेस, राइट। और फिर ये है कि फेलियर इज द पिलर ऑफ सक्सेस, राइट। अच्छा, इसके लिए बच्चों बात ये है कि जहाँ से भी आप, जिस टाइम पे भी आपको शौक हो जिस भी चीज़ का, आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। देखिए, एक सिंपल जो जिसमें हम कहते हैं ना कि ये तंदूर पकाने की जो रोटियां तंदूर पे होती हैं, उसमें आप जब वो बना के आपको देता है तो कई दफ़ा उसके पास वो पॉलीथीन का बैग नहीं होता, तो बाद वो आपको न्यूज़पेपर के एक पेज पे ऊपर वो रख देता है, वो दे के देता है। अच्छा, लोग मैंने देखे, मेरे स्टूडेंट जो हैं वो अभी CSP जो ऑफिस हैं और मुख्तलिफ जगह पे काम कर रहे हैं, और मैं ये जो हिरा ने क्वेश्चन किया ना, मैं इसका जवाब देता हूँ। एक मेरे पास एक स्टूडेंट आया और बड़ा एक क्यूरियस किस्म का लर्नर था। अच्छा, उसे इतना ज़्यादा शौक था कि उसने कहाँ से शुरू किया, उसने ये शौक किया, हफ्जाबाद का रहने वाला था, उसने ये शौक कहाँ से प्रोड्यूस किया, उसमें कैसे आया। उसने मुझे बताया कि सर, मैं रोटियां लेने के लिए जाया करता था और रिटर्न में, यानी उस वक्त तो ये पॉलीथीन के बैग नहीं हुआ करते थे, और रिटर्न में वो जो रोटियां होती थी वो उसमें कागज पे बाद पूरे पेज में, इंग्लिश के पेज में वो लगा के दे देता था मुझे, और उनको एहसास ही नहीं होता था कि उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें जो है इतनी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो कहने लगे कि घर जाके वो रोटियां जो भी था वो खा के जैसा भी था, तो उसके बाद वो पेपर में पढ़ना शुरू कर देता था। तो एक टाइम मेरे पास वो कहने लगा कि ऐसा आया कि वो आफ्टर 6 months or 5 months पाइल्स एंड पाइल्स वो पेपर जो थे वो जमा होने शुरू हो गए। ठीक है। अच्छा, वो कहने लगा कि उस वक्त जो था ना, मैं ग्रेजुएशन कर रहा था। अच्छा, वो वहीं से उसको इंस्पिरेशन मिला कि व्हाई नॉट टू गो फॉर MA इंग्लिश। उसमें उसने दाखिला लिया इसमें गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज, उसमें लाहौर में गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी में मास्टर्स किया इंग्लिश लिटरेचर में। अब जो बेसिक जो लर्नर, जो बिगिनर जो वो बना ना, वो कहाँ से बना, وہ روٹیوں والے جو اخبار تھا وہاں سے وہ ایک اچھا لرنر بنا. جب وہ لرنر بن گیا اس کو ایک شوق پیدا ہو گیا. اچھا وہ جب شوق اس میں وہ پیدا ہوا تو وہ اس سے اس کی انسپریشن بڑھی. انسپریشن بڑھتے بڑھتے وہ جب میرے پاس آیا تو اس کو میں نے پھر نئے جو تھے نیوز پیپر اس وقت جو تھا وہ پاکستان ٹائم ہوا کرتا تھا اور اسی طرح مارننگ نیوز ہوا کرتا تھا, یہ دو اور دی مسلم, یہ نیوز پیپر اب نہیں ہے. یہ ایون جو نئے نیوز پیپر آئے ہیں اس وقت نہیں ہوا کرتے. تو میں نے اس کو اس وقت ڈان تو بڑا پرانا پارٹیشن سے بھی پہلے کا اس وقت اسے میں نے ڈان دیا کہ بیٹا یہ پڑھو, ٹھیک ہے. اب غریب وہ اتنا زیادہ تھا کہ اس کے پاس پیسے ویسے ظاہر ہے کہ نہیں ہوتے تھے, تو میں نے اس کو کہا کہ بیٹا آپ جیسے بھی آپ پڑھنے آ جائے گا, آل رائٹ, میں I'll give you the guidance. اچھا وہ آہستہ آہستہ ہوتا چلا گیا اور اللہ کا شکر ہے اب وہ اس کی کسٹمز میں اس کی ایلوکیشن اس وقت ہوئی تھی, کبھی کبھار وہ مجھے ملتا بھی ہے. تو جب آپ نے انسپریشن ایز اے بگنر کے دور سے مجھے کہا تو مجھے وہ جو تھا وہ مجھے یاد آ گیا, وہ اسٹوڈنٹ میرا, تو یہ بگنر وہ وہاں سے بنا. اب ایک بگنر جو ہے نا وہ ناول سے بن جاتا ہے, ناول ریڈنگ سے. ایک بگنر جو ہے نا وہ بن جاتا ہے اخباروں سے. ایک ناول ایک جو بندہ جو بگنر ہے نا وہ بنتا ہے کہ اس کو اگر وہ سلیبس کی بک انگریزی کی ہوتی ہے نا اس میں وہ انٹرسٹ لینا شروع کر دیتا ہے. اچھا ایک بگنر ایسا بھی ہوتا ہے کہ جو ساتھ ساتھ لکھنا بھی شروع کر دیتا ہے, کہ جو وہ چیز پڑھتا ہے ساتھ ساتھ لکھتا بھی چلا جاتا ہے. تو یہ ایسے بگنر کے لیے نا دیر از نو ہارڈ اینڈ فاسٹ رول. لیکن بالکل ایسے ہی ہے کہ جیسے ایک سنگر ہوتا ہے نا, تو سنگر میں کریٹو صلاحیت تو ہوتی ہے اس میں, نو ڈاؤٹ, لیکن پھر بھی وہ استاد کو کیوں کنسلٹ کرتا ہے کہ استاد اس کو جو اے بی سی ہے اس کی میوزک کی وہ بتاتا ہے کہ کہاں پر اس نے سر ہے اس کو اٹھانا ہے, کہاں پر اس کو نیچے لے کے جانا ہے. تو پھر وہ آہستہ آہستہ جو ہے نا اس کی جو سنگنگ ہے وہ پروفاؤنڈ ہوتی جاتی ہے, کمپریہنسو ہوتی جاتی ہے, کہ اس کی جو میلڈی ہے وہ ایک اس کو ایک جس کو کہتے ہیں نا بڑا ایک اچھا اس کو نوٹس جو ہے وہ مل جاتا ہے. نوٹ سے مراد ہے وہ نوٹ نہیں ہے, نوٹ سے مراد ہے NOT, نوٹ سے مراد ہے وہ میوزک کے ساتھ ریلیٹڈ ہے. تو یہ دیٹ آل ڈیپینڈس اپون اٹ. اچھا پھر یہ بھی ہے جو بگنرس کے لیے جو موسٹ امپورٹنٹ چیز ہے وہ ڈٹرمینیشن آپ کا, وہ ویلر ہے کہ آپ میں آپ کتنے ڈٹرمن ہیں. بعض لوگ جو ہوتے ہیں کنسسٹنٹ نہیں ہیں, بعض بعض میرے ایسے بھی اسٹوڈنٹ تھے انہوں نے بڑی تیاری کی آخر میں چھوڑ گئے, اور اس کے بعد جو ہے وہ پھر سیکنڈ اور تھرڈ اٹیمپٹ میں, کئی دفعہ تھرڈ اٹیمپٹ میں جا کے کیا. تو دیر از نو سچ تھنگ اینڈ دیر از نو کمپیریزن آف یو کین سے لائک دس کہ جس میں انسپریشن ہے اور انٹرسٹ ہے, دیر از نو پیرالل آف اٹ. آپ اپنے آپ ڈٹرمینیشن کا جو ایلیمنٹس ہے وہ پیدا کریں اندر اپنے اندر, تو کوئی ایسی چیز نہیں. میں اس کی میں مثال دیتا ہوں آپ کو, میں اکثر دیا کرتا ہوں. ایک اخبار تھا کامریڈ, تو ان کو جو چلانے والے تھے وہ مولانا محمد علی جوہر اور مولانا شوکت علی جوہر ہوا کرتے تھے. اچھا وہ کامریڈ کا اخبار جو تھا 1947 سے پہلے تھا. اچھا لکھنے والے یہ تھے مولانا محمد علی جوہر وغیرہ, لیکن وہ اتنے اچھی خوبصورت انگریزی لکھا کرتے تھے کہ انگریز جب یہاں پر آتے تھے انڈو پاک میں, اس وقت سب کانٹیننٹ تھا, کمبائنڈ انڈیا تھا, انڈو پاک تھا, تو یہاں سے وہ اخبار لے کے جایا کرتے تھے, اور جب وہ لے کے جایا کرتے تھے تو انگریزوں کو ایز اے گفٹ دیا کرتے تھے. تو اس سے کوئی وہ ایسی چیز نہیں ہے جیسے مطلب ہم نے بھی سیکھا تو ہم نے ٹیچر سے سیکھا, انسپریشن تھا, شوق تھا. تو اسی طرح اگر آپ جو شوق ہے وہ ڈیولپ کر لیں, اور اچھا اگر آپ کو ٹیچر مل جاتا ہے, جیسے مجھے بڑے اچھے ٹیچر ملے, میں بڑا آج بھی ذکر کرتا ہوں, پروفیسر افتخار صاحب ہیں میرے اور وہ میرے گرو ہیں, اور آج بھی میں ان کے لیے دعا کرتا ہوں کہ اللہ میاں ان کی اور عمر دراز کرے. پھر میرے ٹیچر عارف خان صاحب تھے جو پنجابی نیوز اس میں گورنمنٹ کالج لاہور میں BA انگلش لٹریچر میں ہمیں پڑھایا کرتے تھے. 2006 میں 16 میں ان کی ڈیتھ ہو گئی. وہ میرے لیے ایک بڑے سورس آف انسپریشن تھے, میں نے ان سے بہت کچھ سیکھا. اور آج میں جن کی وجہ سے ہوں, میں وہ میرے ٹیچرس ہی ہیں. میم شائستہ تھی انگلش ڈپارٹمنٹ میں, میڈم کنیز اسلم تھی, میم کنیز نوید شہزاد تھیں. یہ سارے وہ لوگ تھے جنہوں نے ہمیں بوسٹ اپ کیا, اور اللہ کا شکر ہے کہ ہم سارے اسٹوڈنٹ جو ماشاء اللہ وہ ہر بندہ اپنی پوزیشن پہ جو ہے وہ براجمان ہے, اور ان کی ارننگ بھی ٹھیک ہے, اور اللہ تعالیٰ نے ان کو عزت بھی دی ہے. اوکے, اور کوئی کویشچن بھائی؟
سر میرا کویشچن سر یہ ہے جو CSS کے لیے جتنے سبجیکٹس کے بارے میں بیسیکلی کتنے سبجیکٹس ہوتے ہیں, اور ان میں کتنی کمپلسری ہوتے ہیں اور کتنے آپشنل ہوتے ہیں, اور ٹوٹل جو مارکس ہوتے ہیں اوور آل مارکس وہ کتنے ہوتے ہیں سر, اس کے بارے میں ذرا.
اچھا لیٹ می ٹاک ٹو یو. بتاؤ, اردو میں بتاؤں انگلش میں بتاؤں؟ اردو میں بتا دوں؟
ایز یو وش سر.
اچھا چلو میں سب کے لیے اردو میں بتا دیتا ہوں. اچھا بیٹا اس میں نا جو 600 مارکس ہوتے ہیں نا CSS ایگزام میں, وہ کمپلسری سبجیکٹس میں ہوتے ہیں. اس سے مراد ہے کہ وہ جتنے بھی اسٹوڈنٹ جو ہیں وہ اپیئر ہوں ان کو یہ سبجیکٹس جو ہیں نا وہ پاس کرنے پڑتے ہیں. اس میں آپ کو ڈیٹیل بتا دیتا ہوں. اس میں انگلش ایسے ہے وہ 100 مارکس کا, اور اسی طرح انگلش کمپوزیشن اور پریسی ہے یہ بھی 100 مارکس ہے. اسی طرح جنرل سائنس اینڈ ابیلٹی یہ 100 مارکس کی ہے, جس کو ہم جنرل سائنس بھی کہتے ہیں یا جنرل سائنس اینڈ ابیلٹی بھی کہتے ہیں. اس کے علاوہ کرنٹ افیئرز ہیں 100 مارکس کے, پاکستان افیئرز 100 مارکس کے, اسلامک اسٹڈیز ہے, اور جسے ہم لوگ اسلامک اسٹڈی یہ اسلامیہ جسے آپ پڑھتے بھی رہے ہیں میٹرک میں اور انٹر میں, اس کے مارکس جو ہیں وہ بھی 100 ہے. اور اگر آپ نان مسلم ہیں تو اس کے اگینسٹ ایک سبجیکٹ ہے کمپیریٹیو اسٹڈی آف میجر ریلیجن, تو یہ بنتے ہیں اوور آل 600 مارکس. ٹھیک ہے, یہ آپ کے لیے کمپلسری ہے. اور باقی کے جو 600 مارکس ہیں نا وہ ہیں آپشنل, وہ آپ نے اپنے طور پہ چوز کرنا ہوتا ہے. وہ اس لیے رکھے گئے ہیں کہ اگر آپ کا فیلڈ ہے کمپیوٹر کا تو کمپیوٹر کے کچھ سبجیکٹ رکھ لیں, اگر آپ کا فیلڈ ہسٹری کا سے آرٹس کے ساتھ تعلق ہے تو وہ رکھ لیں, اگر آپ کا تعلق ایگریکلچر کے ساتھ ہے تو ایگریکلچر کے سبجیکٹ رکھ لیں. تو اگر آپ نے ہسٹریز پڑھی ہوئی ہیں تو یو ایس ہسٹری آپ پڑھ سکتے ہیں, بٹ اس کے ڈفرینٹ وہ ہے اس کا یعنی مارکس کی ایلوکیشن ہے. وہ ہر ایک جو گروپ ہے نا وہ ڈفرینٹ بنا ہوا ہے, اور یہ آپ کو نیٹ سے نا یہ ساری جی یہ نیٹ سے بھی مل جائیں گے, لیکن پھر بھی میں بتا دیتا ہوں آپ کو. یعنی اکاؤنٹنسی اور آڈیٹنگ ہے اس کے 200 مارکس ہیں, اکنامکس کے 200 ہے, کمپیوٹر سائنس کے 200 ہے, پولیٹیکل سائنس 200, انٹرنیشنل ریلیشن کے 200. اب یہ ایک گروپ میں نے بتایا, لیکن اس میں سے آپ نے صرف ایک سبجیکٹ چوز کرنا. تو اس طرح چوز کرتے کرتے آپ نے 600 کے قریب جو ہے نا مارکس جو ہے نا پورے کرنے ہیں. اچھا اسی طرح ایک نیکسٹ گروپ ہے, جو نیکسٹ گروپ ہے وہ بنتا ہے سائنس کا گروپ, جس میں فزکس ہے, جس میں کیمسٹری ہے. آپ فزکس 200 نمبر کی آپٹ کر سکتے ہیں, اسی طرح کیمسٹری 200 نمبر کی آپٹ کر سکتے ہیں. لیکن آپ اگر اپلائیڈ میتھمیٹکس, پیور میتھمیٹکس اور اسی طرح اسٹیٹسٹکس اور جیولوجی رکھنا چاہتے ہیں تو وہ آپ 100 مارکس ہی رکھ سکتے ہیں. ٹھیک ہے, اور اس سے نیکسٹ کیٹیگری جو ہے وہ بزنس ایڈمنسٹریشن کی آ جاتی ہے, جس میں پبلک ایڈمنسٹریشن ہے یہ 100 مارکس کی ہے, بزنس ایڈمنسٹریشن 100 کی ہے, اور اس میں گورننس اینڈ پبلک پالیسیز ہے یہ آپ کی 100 مارکس کی ہوتی ہے. یہ ساری چیزیں آپ کو نیٹ سے مل جائیں گی, یہ کوئی مسئلہ نہیں ہے. آپ پبلک یہ جو فیڈرل پبلک سروس کمیشن کی آپ نیٹ پہ جاؤ, یو ول بی گیٹنگ ایوری تھنگ ان اٹ. ٹھیک ہے, اس کے علاوہ 100 مارکس کی پنجابی بھی ہے, بلوچی بھی ہے, سندھی بھی ہے, فارسٹری بھی ہے, یہ 100 مارکس کی ہے, 100 نمبر کے ہیں. تو 200 نمبر کے, یعنی اس طرح 200 100 نمبر کے سبجیکٹ ملا کے ہر کیٹیگری میں سے ایک ایک سلیکٹ کر کے آپ کو 600 نمبر یہ پورا کرنا پڑتا ہے. 600 اس کے ہو گئے کمپلسری کے, 600 یہ ہو گئے, 1200 ہو گئے, اور 300 جو ہیں وہ آپ کے انٹرویو کے 1500 میں سے آپ مارکس لیتے ہو. پھر آپ کی اس کے بعد پر سب سے پہلے تو یہ ہے کہ آپ کا ریٹن ایگزامینیشن پاس ہونا چاہیے. تو یہ جو آپ کے جو انٹرویو کا سلسلہ وہ تو بعد میں ہے نا. فرسٹ آف آل کہ آپ کے جو یہ 1200 مارکس ہیں, دے آر ویری مچ امپورٹنٹ. آفٹر یو پاس your written examination, then you will be called for interview, right? Okay, next. Any question?
I have two questions. The first one is how to check that my essay is quite enough, and the second one is what optional subjects you suggest for student having engineering background. Thank you, sir.
Well, okay, Umar Farooq, it's a good question. Well, there is a proverb, and the proverb perhaps is that face is the index of mind. And same is also the case with the students. They are the index of their potentialities and their competencies, right? So you can judge for yourself which way you go, but here you see that there is always a great value of your guru. As I told you before, the guru bada important hai, and guru will tell you. And sometimes you feel what I am writing, it's really up to the mark, it's really a standard kind of essay. But when you will go to guru, visit your guru, your mentor, your teacher, you will find that the positions are totally different. And if you are given some type of data, it's not relevant. And actually that you have poured inside it everything, and you are really very much confident that what you have done is really up to the mark. But when you get it checked by your mentor and the person who has the ability of knowing English well, so it is discarded like a burnt out toast. So here there is a great importance of teacher, right? So why people are cheating the people, the students? Because here, because because they cheat the people, because students think that perhaps it is their mentor, but perhaps the people are not their mentor. So that was perhaps the reason that in selecting your mentor, you have to be very much smart. Which way you have to go, the competency of your teachers, or you can know that what is the potential of your teacher. Well, they'll be able to judge you, whether they'll be judge you the capabilities of yours. Why these coaches are important? Why in hockey match, in hockey or a cricket and a football and even volleyball, why the people would like to hire the services of coaches, and they pay a million and trillion of rupees to them? Why they hire? They hire it because they give them the tips, right? They give them the training, they give them the techniques. So here gurus are very much important, right? And the second your answer, perhaps the question is something about your engineering, right? So as for engineering is concerned, you'll be having an idea about it, because for engineering, the people would like to opt for the subject like applied mathematics and the computer and something like this. I mean, they can opt for the future, because these three domains or these subjects are very much important as for your domain of engineering is concerned, right? But when you will go for it, you have to be very much, you can say, the very much alert, especially in it, because only one time you have to choose all that, because it will take 1 year, because if you put your effort, it will take at least 1 year to till the time comes that your result is announced. So you have to be very much smart in it. So the very much subject concerned with your engineering, they are the computer, the physics, and then the mathematics. And if you are good at mathematics, you can choose it, and it all depends upon you. And then there is general mathematics, you can opt it, right? But then there are very many students of mine who are now bureaucrats, and even that they were engineers, but they didn't opt it for the subject. I mean, like applied mathematics and physics and something like this. They opted for the other subject, I mean, like history, like Punjabi, and like American history of 100 marks, and they were successful. But that depends upon you. How good are you in your mathematics, applied mathematics, or in physics and some other type of subjects? Right now, this is the answer of your question. Yes, any other queries or question?
Assalamu alaikum, sir. My name is Muhammad Usman.
Yes,
I
Mohammed.
have masters from Government College, University Lahore.
Okay.
So my basic question is about CSS essay. What is the basic technique
Okay.
that attracts candidate's mind
Okay,
for
and,
CSS essay?
and I tell you, now let me know about it, your department in GC, because you are the old Ravian, right? And me myself is old Ravian, you are also the old Ravian, right? So let me know about your department. What is your department, whether it's chemistry, physics, right, like this?
Botany.
Botany. Okay.
Yes.
Botany, the last time there were students of botany in Punjab University, and she was able to get good marks in English, and she got the job especially. But she was a university student. And again, you people, especially of science people, especially of botany, zoology, and physics, chemistry, and mathematics, and accounting, and finance, they are very much poor in English. Why they are so poor? Because they are always restricted to certain kind of sentences, and these sentences are not required in CSS. Because in sentences, what is your requirement is your richness, your cultivation, right? So I want you to, gain these skills, and after you will be registered, and I'll tell you all these techniques.